Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules. Rule number 1. No touching of the hair or face.
Of course.
And that's it!
You play as a unicorn.
I see assholes like you every day.
Every fucking day. Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here!
Not up in here!
The meatloaf!
Unfortunately, I think the amateur status of the company has come through, and they bit off more than they could chew.
And I feel totally embarrassed about that whole scenario.
Welcome to Game Theory. Join me, your host Soulz, and my co-hosts, TastesLikeChicken, HeyCarNut, and Lemon as we discuss the latest gaming topics. Oh no. Oh no! I did it again.
Steve! Do something with this guy, please!
Hey everyone, and welcome to GameTheoryCast number 16. My name is Soulz, and joining me today are my co-hosts, TastesLikeChicken. How's it going, Chicken?
Hey, good afternoon. Good to be here.
HeyCarNut. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, brother.
And Lemon. How's it going, man? Nice to see you back.
Good evening. Nice. Glad to be here.
Cool. So we got a lot of stuff. Borderlands 2 PC-specific features announced. What do you think, Chicken?
What about it?
Just the field of view. A lot. It's just a matter of the features, but I mean, it resounds the point that the game is coming out soon. So
yeah, it's gonna be good to get the game and to play it. It's good to see that they're really catering to the PC crowd for our version of the release, with some features that really play to our machine, basically.
Yes, yeah. I guess it's just the fact that they're working on the PC version more, and that always is exciting. I don't really care what features they give us as long as the game is good, and I'm sure it will be. What do you think, Lemon?
The PC-specific features basically remove my biggest gripe with Borderlands 1, which was the poor PC port part of it. It was a great game, but it just didn't really feel, or at least play, like a good PC game should. That basically removes my gripes. In Borderlands 1, I had to manually reset the FOV. Now I can't do it natively, so that's very good.
I don't know. I never really found it to be to feel overly console-ish. We get mouse and keyboard. We can run around and shoot stuff. I don't really feel like I'm playing on a console in that game. The only thing that I would have liked to see is an FOV change.
Right, and it's the FOV. I think is, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but do you guys think the FOV thing is the biggest thing? Because to me, sometimes I can get sick on certain games. I'm very sensitive to that motion sickness stuff. But
same here.
But it was more like I didn't want that feeling in Borderlands. But I mean, I never really got sick. It just you can't really play close to the monitor and stuff, which I kind of do. Other than that, I mean, you guys looking forward to the game, Chicken, Lemon?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
And I know Rob is definitely looking forward to it, right, Rob?
Yeah, why don't you pansies try driving around the city, like looking through binoculars or something? Maybe that'll get you over your motion sickness.
For sure. All right, let's go to the next game, XCOM Enemy Unknown. I'm sure for those of us who have been playing games for a while, I don't even think I was playing PC games back then, but XCOM was, from what I understand, it was a very premier, wasn't it like a space shoot 'em up kind of game? Does anyone remember that game, Lemon, Chicken, Carnut?
Well,
Nope.
XCOM is basically the granddaddy of you could say semi-turn-based tactical top-down shooters, similar to, let's say, Jagged Alliance. In that way, I play a lot of Jagged Alliance 1 and 2, and also some XCOM games, older ones, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Okay. What makes XCOM so special, though? What do you like about it?
Well, the way that each of the soldiers have specific abilities similar to an RPG, but instead of having true turn-based combat in a way that you basically move them between hex fields. It did innovate in the way that everything is in square fields, and each soldier, for instance, has 20 movement points, or at least starts out with X movement points. And when moving, when changing stance, when aiming at an enemy, you expend those points. And when they're out of points, they can't move anymore for that turn, and then you change turn, and then the enemy's turn begins. So it's that makes it very tactical. Also paired with the way that it was very unforgiving. It's not a shoot 'em up where you just run around AWSD and shoot the guys.
Okay, so you're talking about the new one now, not the old one.
I'm talking about the old one. Honestly, I don't know that much about the new one, unfortunately, but that's where it came from.
The only things I really know about the new one are that they've designed it for the PC in terms of the UI, and that it has mod support, which is always nice. I mean, it seems like they're putting more effort into it, but it's going to be more of a first-person shooter, I think, so I'm not sure how that's going to play into the overall game, but I guess we'll see, right? Anyways, another big announcement for those of us who are interested in these kind of games, I know I am. Diablo 3's release date has finally been announced after many years of waiting. May 15th, 2012, for anyone who's wondering. And I remember playing Diablo 2 when I was like, I'm 24 now, and yes, it's my birthday today, but when I was like it had to be when I was 14, I remember playing that game for hours on end, Diablo 2, and it was a very fun RPG at the time. It was you could play online with up to 16 players and PvP if you're into that kind of stuff. Lemon, are you interested in Diablo 3?
Definitely. I was a big Diablo 1 fan when I was a kid, and later on, same as you, played Diablo 2 for hours on end. First single player, then multiplayer. It's a very unique mixture of hack and slash and RPG, and a good story to some extent. And if they can continue that lineage and with Diablo 3, then yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
What about yourself, Chicken? Are you looking forward to Diablo 3? Or not your kind of game?
I wasn't super huge into Diablo 2. I did play it. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I have a friend that's actually in the Diablo 3 beta, and whenever I ask him about the game, he gives me a super descriptive answer of, it's awesome, get it. So I'm pretty much going to have to buy it just to take a look at it, see what it's about.
So it's more like you don't have that much interest. You're just getting it because a friend wants you to get it or something, or
no, I'm gonna get it because I want to buy it. Nobody's gonna make me get it. But
I
haven't really been drawn into the hack and slash type of games. But I can appreciate games for what they are, and I just enjoy playing different types of games, and that'll be one I'll definitely have a go at.
Cool. All right, so, and Rob is obviously not going to get it because it has everything he doesn't want in the game. Thatched, what is it again?
Yeah, listen, the only people I know that play Diablo, I always see them hanging out behind 7-Eleven dressed in black, listening to emo music. So probably not my kind of game.
I don't ever recall Jay and Silent Bob listening to emo music.
All right, and the game I've been playing a heavy amount, and I understand Lemon's been playing this a bit, but not recently, and Chicken and I have been playing it a lot. World of Tanks. Not for everyone. I know Rob tried it. He didn't like it at all, but he can understand that people like it. It's basically what RO2 tanks should have been times 5. Very granular in the specifications of how you can create the tank. You've got the turret slot, the suspension, engines, the whole 9 yards. And the only thing it's missing is ballistics, because there is no bullet drop. But I mean,
what? There is.
Not as far as I know.
There is. There are actually pretty extensive ballistics and also pretty good armor penetration system.
Well, I mean, there's armor. When I meant ballistics, I meant there's no bullet drop. But
there is.
Which ones? The artillery.
Every tank has them. At least maybe you're on the lower levels at the moment and you don't notice it that much. But every tank every gun has pretty extensive ballistics based on the ballistics coefficient and caliber, weight of shell, and of course velocity.
So when did you play it last, Lemon?
Probably 3 months ago.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, definitely. It becomes a bit too grindy for my taste after reaching level 6 or 7, or at least tier 6 or 7. But it's a pretty damn fun game. You can spend hours playing it, and it's always fun for a quick match.
I also know it's a very addicting game. I mean, it's kind of like playing WoW for me, but it's not the same commitment, obviously. Even though I did purchase some, what was it? I purchased 3,500 gold or whatever the package was, and that was just purely to create a battalion so I could invite more people in it. Unfortunately, I learned that I can't invite more than 3 people, so it's like, what the hell, you know? So, what'd you think of it, Chicken?
It's fun. It was I really enjoy the part of the game where you level up your tanks. You get to do add-ons, research new parts and engines, guns, turrets, that sort of thing, which adds a different element to the game. And nobody's driving around in the exact same tank as you. The only thing I didn't really appreciate is the feeling that you're walking into a casino to just play slots. You feel like you're going to be spending money and then having to reload and spend more money and more money. Whereas you can earn the credits to buy all the upgrades and stuff, but it just takes a hell of a long time. So that's the one thing I didn't really appreciate is the feeling that you kind of have to pay money to do it. I would like sort of something if you paid a one-time fee, you could have access to whatever you want and not have it subscription based or the feeling that it is. So, but as a game, it's definitely fun. It's pretty enjoyable to just go around with a couple different people and just go into matches and blow up some other tanks, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point about it. I like the massive feel of it. Like you're going in a battle. You have probably 15 other tanks on your side, and it reminds me a little bit of just first-person shooters almost, but it's not. I mean, obviously it's third person and somewhat first person if you want to snipe, but it's a lot of fun. Obviously, the payment side of it can be, like Lemon said, it's a grind, but hopefully they'll incorporate something so you can have more freedom and more choice, I guess. I mean, there is a lot of choice already, but it's kind of limited for certain elements of it. So did anyone's... Oh, go on.
Yeah, that's where, generally, in my opinion, free-to-play games fall on their noses, which is usually if you really want to have the freedom, you really don't want to grind endlessly, you pretty much have to pay.
Yeah, that sucks. But it is what it is. What'd you guys think of the Far Cry 3 gameplay trailer? Did anyone see it?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
It seemed pretty low res, compressed, pixelated. Really couldn't tell much about it. But I'm delighted to see a harkening back to the original Far Cry, because I think they really screwed the pooch with Far Cry 2. It had nothing to do with Far Cry. So seeing the tropical environments and a character that looks much more like the original Far Cry character and the such has my hopes up for Far Cry 3.
Anyone notice you can actually take mushrooms in the game? Lemon, chicken?
Yeah, I saw that. Whatever.
Well,
Unfortunately.
Why?
Unfortunately, I didn't see the trailer yet. I was on vacation for some time, so haven't been up too much.
I also noticed there is a... Oh, go on, Carnot.
I didn't see any Chinese food in the game at all. You said lemon chicken?
No, I said mushrooms.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I also saw lots of blood and gore in it. It's incredible how much there is. I mean, I've seen obviously more with other games, but it's... You can literally stab people in the heart, take mushrooms, breathe walls. I've never taken drugs, so I don't know what it's like to do that, but I'm sure you get the experience of doing that. You go into the place with what do you call it? It's like a lab with this doctor, and he gives you a bunch of different quote-unquote natural ailments, and I think one of them is shrooms. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What do you guys think? Anyone else looking forward to it?
Yes.
Okay. And a topic that actually came up recently, but I think I should let Chicken do this one because he's very animated with it, as am I. He does a better job. So let's start him off with the Battlefield 3 stuff that we've been hearing from the hardcore or quote-unquote hardcore community. Chicken?
By hardcore, you're inferring self-entitled.
Yes.
Just all the bitching. Enough already. If you like the game, play the game. They're obviously going to support the game and fix the problems with it. Stop your bitching. We don't care to hear about it. There's petitions, there's blackout dates that have been organized. People claim to get results with that stuff. I really don't care, to be honest. If you like the game, play it. If you don't, shut the hell up and move on. Enough, seriously.
I have to agree. It's getting to the point where I just don't want to follow certain people because all they do is bitch, bitch, and bitch. It's like, really? Is that all you can do? I'm tired of it. What do you think, Lemon?
Well, at some point, you just have to move on, in my opinion. But in the past, I still remember the blackout actions for Call of Duty 1 with the missing anti-cheat, and it did help. But it always depends on what the exact problems are, and I think DICE are pretty committed to Battlefield 3 to improving it, and endlessly bitching doesn't really help in that way. If I'm not happy with the game, I'll voice my opinion, and if it's not heard, then I'll move on because, well, they don't want my money or my support.
Well, Rob, got a question for you, Rob. If I'm making a piece of software and it does what it's advertised to do, Are you just going to bitch and moan because I didn't include a feature?
Negative. My
And
voting ends when I decide to buy or not. That is my entitlement as a gamer.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why people think the incessant bitching is going to help their cause. At some point, the people that are making the games are just going to be like, you know what? Fuck this. We're done. Seriously. You guys can make your own shit and fix when it's broken. Like, I just don't understand it. It's not a terrible game. It works. It runs. It's enjoyable. Hell, it's very enjoyable, but some people just feel like they're not going to be satisfied until the developer is bent over backwards to do and include every single thing that they wanted. Like with the Mass Effect, the ending on it, taking it to the FTC, like, what the hell? At some point, a storyteller's got to be able to tell a story and not put up polls to find out what the next move of the main character to be.
They're actually thinking about changing the Mass Effect 3 ending, BioWare is, and I was like, you guys made a great game, and not everyone liked it, but most people liked it. Why are they changing the ending or even considering it?
I don't think they're going to. I think that is just good PR. And, of course, the whiners will read into that, well, they promised us they'd change it, but they have not said that. They have taken it under consideration, I'm sure, and they probably laugh about that entitled segment of the gaming world in their boardroom. And they may have some DLC that perhaps the course of it will be slightly changed based on some of the feedback, but they're not going to go back and change the ending of the game. And good for them, as far as I'm concerned. It's their friggin' game. If the gamer doesn't like it, don't buy any more of their friggin' product. Oh, and by the way, I would really appreciate if that segment of the community stopped calling themselves the community, because they're not. In my opinion, they represent a very small, bordering on psychotic group of self-entitled whiners, and stop trying to co-opt the word community. Off my soapbox now.
There's one thing I have to add, though. I mean, bitching and whining obviously is not an option. If there are no broken promises, or at least no false advertising. But if that happened, then in my opinion, bitching and whining is absolutely correct to do, at least to some extent. Not really bitching and whining, but stating that you're unsatisfied and holding the developer to their promises, as has been seen, for instance, lately with Heroes of Stalingrad.
Oh, I agree with that. And I've said all along that if a developer flat out lies, they deserve to be burned at the stake. And I will frankly bend over backwards to publicly humiliate them, to the benefit of other gamers knowing that these guys are flakes and don't buy their product. However, that small slice of the community that seems to be very vocal is invariably claiming that each and every developer has lied to them, broken promises, etc., etc. And yet, when posed with the simple question of, all right, so show me exactly where, say, Activision lied, they can't come up with an example other than perhaps a sentence along the lines of, we're considering doing mod tools. And that segment of the community turns it into, well, they lied to us. They said they were going to do mod tools. That's what I'm talking about. But I fully agree with you that when a developer knowingly misleads a community, they deserve to be friggin' excoriated.
I agree. It's like, and recently with the Battlefield 3 patch, people have just become infuriated with, or rather I should say bitching, that, oh, you're releasing on PlayStation 3. Well, they do have an exclusive agreement. That's their business model. I mean, seriously, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like you said, Rob, it's like, we get it. You're a small segment. You claim you're the majority. You're the minority, if not like less than 1%, very small percentage. And they do it. It's like, you're not going to get people to stop buying the game. You're not going to get people to throw a fit. Just quit it. Holy crap. I mean, it's like...
Well, I don't want them to completely stop because, frankly, some of those groups give me great fodder for making fun. So just cut down a bit.
Cut down a bit, okay. Any last thoughts on this heated subject before we go to the next one? Alrighty. Brothers in Arms, Furious 4. I watched the trailer. I know... Have all of you guys watched the trailer? Carnut and Chicken?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the teaser.
Apparently, and I did want to add some spice to the subject, there has been some controversy, I guess, on the fact that they're not doing it like the original Brothers in Arms, but personally, I don't give a shit. It looks like Borderlands mixed with Inglourious Bastards. I'm all for it. I love Gearbox, I love Borderlands, and I like the way they're going with Brothers in Arms Furious 4. What do you think, Chicken?
Totally agree. Wasn't a huge fan of the original Brothers in Arms. I think I played one of them, but yeah, they're not my style. But a game that puts four-person co-op in a Borderlands style gameplay in a World War II setting, and possibly a comedic twist on things, I'll play the hell out of that game. Yeah.
What do you think, Lemon?
Well, I'm split up in it. I don't really care that much for the game. The only thing that I don't understand is why I call it Brothers in Arms. I don't understand it. I mean, the only thing that I could think it would make do is alienate the fans of the Brothers in Arms series, because that's a semi-tactical, semi-realistic shooter. Why not create a new IP, which would, in my opinion, be far better, far more appropriate. The game itself, I'm not uninterested. If it is on the quality of Borderlands with good comedy in it, I'll definitely try that.
Do you agree, Chicken?
Yeah, no. I don't. It comes down to I think a business decision to add the Brothers in Arms title behind it. Because if you look at the release calendar, there's still one project that Gearbox has not released information on. It's still an unknown, and it's apparently supposed to be released this year at some point. So you can't really go out on a limb with too many new IPs at a company like that, because they're looking to make money and they're looking to have consistent profits. So you're not going to take too many gambles. That's probably why it isn't listed as a new IP. But like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the original Brothers in Arms. I can appreciate them for the games that they were, but what we've seen of this new Furious 4 game looks fun as hell.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that I don't really understand the decision behind it. If you know what I mean, I just think that the people who liked the Brothers in Arms, the original ones, would be alienated by the game having that name, and the people who didn't like it, who didn't like the old ones, without actually knowing Furious 4 itself, would also be alienated, would think, oh well, didn't...
You cut out, Lemon.
Ones are not my cup of tea, so why should I care about that one? So I just don't understand the decision behind it, but yeah, it looks like a fun game.
Well, I think just buying a game based off of the tag is kind of a narrow-minded and uneducated way to go about purchasing your products.
Absolutely agree, but that's the point. I just don't understand the decision behind the naming. Why not just create a new IP? In the terms of...
Then there's risk. Loss of profits.
How? If your target audience is completely different. That's the point.
Can you imagine if Call of Duty dropped the Call of Duty name and made a different IP? I mean, a different name with the same game?
No, but that's different.
Not necessarily.
Imagine a Call of Duty releasing with the name Call of Duty, but not having anything to do with all the previous Call of Duty games.
Wait a minute, isn't that the case, though? At least that's what the whiners say.
Oh, boy. Here we
No,
go.
I don't know. It's understandable if that's the viewpoint of the people that purchased RO2. I can totally understand how they feel completely duped because they obviously didn't do any research into what they were buying and just bought it based on a Red Orchestra name. But that kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I can appreciate games for what they are and what they're going with, and I'm not going to stick to specific titles just because it has a title in the name. That doesn't make sense at all. I appreciate playing fun games, and if a game, I don't know, if Princess Pony was a fun-ass game and it wasn't like all the other Princess Pony games, I don't know, I'd maybe play it.
Yeah, but that, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to buy the game because of the name, because frankly I don't care for the name in any way. I just don't understand the decision. It's like, really, just like you said, doing the Princess Pony thing. It's just most people would probably be alienated by the Princess Pony name if it's a bloody shooter.
Well, yeah, normally I probably wouldn't buy Princess Pony games, but if Princess Pony was about going around maiming and killing all the other ponies, oh, I'd buy it.
That sounds like a great concept for a game. Except I would add, well, what would I add? Going into the meat grinder?
Sausage Factory DLC?
Or, if you're a little more mellow, you could add, watching them eat little boring stuff. Yeah, that wasn't that good. Sorry.
Eat grass.
Shut up.
Grow your own grass DLC and feed your ponies with it. Now in real time.
Feeding ponies. Simulator.
Hey, come on. Germans would do anything. You've got the farming simulator, you've got the street cleaning simulator, you've got the garbage disposal simulator. What else you got?
Hey, you even got well, there's a lot of simulators. There's train simulators. There's all kinds of simulators, but yeah. What were you gonna say, Chicken?
Oh, we should get back on topic.
Yes. Games of the week. What games have you been playing, Lemon?
Playing some Hearts of Iron 3 and Distant Guns, Russo-Japanese War. And I'm also looking forward to buying Jutland, it's called. It's a naval sim. Looking forward to buying that as soon as possible. Nothing else, really.
Chicken.
What?
Games of the week.
Oh, sorry. World of Tanks, we played that. Pretty fun. Quite enjoyed it. Definitely play it again. And Rob and I did the DLC for Saints Row the Third. Recently finished off my game to 100% complete. Got the DLC, played through all three of those, and waiting for Saints Row 4.
Rob, games of the week.
Ditto. Played the just freshly released DLC, No Time for Clones, with Chicken. Very funny. The guys are really creative. They're pooping out DLC at a pretty rapid pace, and they add enough little twists to each of the DLCs to take a base game that's fun as hell and add yet another layer of amusement and comedy to it. So, a lot of fun with that.
Who are the developers behind Saints Row again?
I'm drawing a blank.
Starts with a V.
Volition?
That's the one.
Ah, okay. I really need to get into that game again, but I don't know. Something about World of Tanks really pulls me in. But
we should play.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to World of Warplanes. That one I think would be pretty fun.
Yeah, we completely skipped over that. I'm sorry. So, has any trailer footage been released for World of Planes?
Yeah, there's some footage on the site. You just gotta go do some research and not buy it just based off the War Games title.
What do you think? What have you seen so far?
Planes flying?
World War II, I'm assuming?
Well, obviously. I don't know. It's in closed alpha. They just finished closed alpha, so I threw in an application to get in at whatever point of testing just to see what it's like. But if it's anything like World of Tanks, only with airplanes flying around, shooting at other airplanes, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. And any other topics that I missed or we didn't?
Yeah. It's your birthday, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is my birthday, and I don't know if you guys know this steakhouse. It's called I don't know. Rob might know it. Ruth Chris Steakhouse. You ever heard of it, Rob?
Yes.
I went there last year for my birthday, and my God, they have well, I'm sure there's many places for good steak, but they have the best steak I've ever tasted. It's expensive, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. For everyone who's wondering how old I am, I'm 24. Had a nice, oh God, this is going to open up so many things. Yes, I had a nice lunch at a place called BJ's. No pun intended.
I bet you had breakfast and dinner too.
Oh God.
Probably some dessert.
Yeah, and a little behind the table too. Why don't we add?
Behind, really, was he gentle?
little extra frosting on the cake.
God.
I like how you said it's going to open up a lot of things. Because it obviously did.
Well, I knew it was. I mean, the fucking place is called BJ's. Come on.
Well, it sure opened you up.
What part? Oh, I'm not even going to go there.
Hey, Scott, didn't you have some games to give away? Seeing as it's your birthday, you're going to give away some gifts?
Yes. We're giving away 2 copies of Borderlands 2, courtesy of Unreal Tubby. Chicken, you want to do the
we'll save it for later, but first 2 people to fire an email off to, say, GameTheoryCast@gmail.com, we'll get the keys.
Alrighty. So that's GameTheoryCast@gmail.com. Great show, everyone. Thank you, Lemon.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks again, Chicken.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Rob.
Yep.
That concludes this segment for Game Theory Cast number 16. Hope you join us again for 17. We're always trying to get guests on the show. If you have any ideas for topics or other games to cover, or even a guest to bring on, let us know. Thank you.
We're going to BJ's.
So anyway, we're between banks right now. Just make those checks out to cash. Cave Johnson, we're done here.